So Thor is Jack Burton. And just like all the stuff is just happening to him that he's really not, he's got just a tenuous grasp on.
Kind of see it. I just love the fact that, I saw an interview about when Taika was applying to be director for Ragnarok. They were saying that how normally directors use their footage to try to impress the studio to hire them. What Taika did was he used other people's footage, but edited it together into a movie he wanted it to be. Like this isn't my stuff, but this is what I want it to feel like. This is what I want it to be.
Yeah, I've heard this. Yeah. Yeah, but he also brought in that soundtrack from Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that they kind of like, okay, all right, and it's one of those things like know your audience. Like everybody in that room knew that song and had rocked out to it at some point in their life, and so I think that was probably a big windfall for him.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Well, especially since he pulled it out twice in that movie.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's like, can we get the rights to this? It's like, it's going to cost. It's like, I think it's going to be worth it. Led Zeppelin songs do not come cheap.
Oh, yeah. Well, for the longest time, Led Zeppelin wouldn't even license their music.
Yeah, no, and again, yeah, it's like
and even now, if they don't think it's worth it, they're not going to. If they don't do it just because of money, now even still, you have to impress them. And so I think that scene
you gotta tell them what is it for, how is it going to be used.
Yeah.
Because they're of an age where they've already made they don't need to make any more money. I mean, it's nice, they've got bills to pay just like the rest of us, but they're paying their bills. They're fine.
The residuals
they're also
are
old enough that they're not doing anything foolish anymore.
Yeah. Now it's a matter of just living long enough.
Done our mountain of drugs, and we bought Rolls Royces. We're past that now.
I still need to do that.
Yeah.
Mountains of drugs.
No one needs a gold Rolls Royce. No one
but
does.
The mountains of drugs are okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. That's where the line
mountain
is.
Of drugs. You don't need to do that either. Yeah.
I've been in that room with mountains of drugs. I've just never decided to partake.
Rumor 2 says Disney will just buy the record label that owns the song. It'll probably be cheaper. Yeah, that's probably right, Rutu. And Sapros goes, a reminder that Led Zeppelin was offered something like $2 billion to do a tour and turned it down. Yeah, again. I think also they're at that point. It's like we'd rather be remembered as we were than be known for what we are.
Yeah.
I think that they're at that, too. The Rolling Stones, I think, they need to say when. I went to their first Last World Tour back in like '97. And I think I went to their second Last World Tour like in 2007.
Well, I think it was funny and they're still touring. I thought it was funny, Robin Williams had that whole great bit about, it's like it's God, what was it? It's like
Keith Richards?
Yeah, the whole Keith. It's like, we've got to dust off Keith Richards. Mick's got to pay for new babies. Alimony's due. Time to go on tour.
The Rolling Stones
Art by Clark. Thank you very much.
Reminds me of there used to be a furniture store out in La Mesa that I used to live by. From the earliest time I can remember, about 2 years old, till about maybe 5-6 years ago, that store was going out of business. 30-some years, it was going out of business.
Yep.
Yes. It's their annual going out of business sale.
I remember there was like Kay's Jewelers did that. It took them like something stupid, like 20 years to go out of business.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, they were constantly having to go out of business.
Like they went bankrupt, and then as part of their bankruptcy, they were supposed to liquidate their merchandise, but they basically, I don't know like how they possibly had that much merchandise, but it's like you'd go down and like their stores were always half empty for like the next 20 years, and yet the merchandise would change every time you walked in. It's like, why don't you guys consolidate into like 1 or 2 stores, fill the thing to the walls so that you're not paying out
Yeah.
and stuff. But I guess they had like leasing contract, like long-term lease contracts and stuff like that. And they were still had contracts. They were buying. They were still had to buy new product, or they were committed to buy new product, or something stupid. But yeah, they had to keep buying stuff, and they had to, even though they're going out of business, they're bankrupt, they're defunct as a company. They still had these contractual obligations that they had to maintain in the process of clearing out everything. It was kind of weird to see. And for anybody who ever has to go through that, yeah, it's weird to see.